All right, you know who it is. You know what it is. It's yours truly. It's Bernie the Boxer. I say, did you miss me? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on now. You know what I mean? All I do is train fighters. So I got time, you know what I'm saying, to go to the gym, and go get the kids and do all that good stuff. So, you know what I mean? I gotta come to my people and say something. What's goody? Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. I know y'all probably working, y'all doing something, man. You ain't gotta look at me, just listen to me. You hear me? All right. So it's Winners Wednesday. Let's talk about what happened this weekend with the Winners Wednesday. You know, I want to start off with Xander, man. I want to start off with Xander. Shout out to Xander. You know, I've been kind of critical of him, but he's boxing. I got to give him credit. He's boxing. He's moving around. He's moving around. He's boxing. He's using his jab. He's turning the angles. Man, he's doing well. So I had a shout out to Xander, man. You know, hey, he doing this thing, man. He won the world championship again. He's unified champion. He got 2 portions of the title right now. That got to boost him up some type of way. He fought a tough, rugged guy in Abras and, you know, put on a performance. You know, he boxed him. It's not the most entertaining, but he boxing and he winning. He's not getting hit. He using his boxing abilities. And, hey, listen, hey, the game is to hit and don't get hit. So shout out to Xander, man. Shout out to Xander, man. Appreciate you, Fire Parker. Yeah, you going to catch me once a week. I've been trying to go once a week. You going to see me. Appreciate everybody. Like I say, so anyway, yeah, Xander, man, he did his thing, become a unified champ. You know, he was off in Puerto Rico in his hometown, getting his fans up, giving them something to look at, give them something to be proud of. You seen Trinidad was in the crowd. You know, you had to watch both. So I had Xander on while Keyshawn and Shushu was going on something. Like I had him on the phone while they was on the TV. Man, I wasn't trying to miss nothing. And so yeah, but anyway, Xander looking good. You know, like I say, 2 portions of the championship. And man, come on now. What else can you say? You know, it's only big fights from here on. You know, we had in an upset, Josh Kelly came all the way back. Beat the boogeyman of the division, the perceived boogeyman of the division, man. Ah, man, I had a feeling, man. I had a feeling. Like I'm saying, he did look great up back. Merza Talayev looked good against Kasazu. He looked like a straight killer. I mean, the way he did dispatch the Tim Tszyu in 3 rounds. I mean, it was crazy. He looked, man, he looked like a wrecking ball, maybe like a better Beeb almost, man. And, man, but, you know, like I say, I watched his other fight, watched him fight before, so I was kind of skeptical. I don't know how he keep that up. And I said, hope somebody get to him with a name like Boots or somebody get to him with a name before he ain't the boogeyman. Then they be the boogeyman. Now it's Josh Kelly. I think it's a great win, but they're not going to perceive him like that. You know, Josh Kelly seemed like easy work still. I don't know. I'm just talking, but seemed like easy work. You know, he got knocked out by Avanesian. You know what I'm saying? 6 rounds by Avanesian. But anything can happen. Fighters, you know, lose. You just never know. It could have been your day. Never know what's going on in the background. Things happen. You know, I think he's a good fighter, not a great fighter. And most great fighters don't have too many off nights, you know. But even then, they do. So I was watching Sandy Sadler versus Willie Pep last night. I was watching Sandy Sadler versus Flash Elorde. And like I say, Sandy Sadler was 32. Flash Elorde from the Philippines was 22. And he lost in a 10-round decision. I think he lost in a 10-round decision before that. They fought for the title. He lost in a 10-round decision in the Philippines to Flash Elorde, the great Flash Elorde. And, man, Flash Elorde was a southpaw, boxing him up. Man, come on. But the champion lost. They used to have those type of things, you know, still be the champion, but you fight a non-title fight. Maybe you be 1 pound over the limit or something like that. The championship ain't a line, but it's a non-title fight. Even though you lose, you still win the title. The last one I know who did that was Danny Romero. He lost to a guy named Willie Salazar while he was the flyweight champ. And he got stopped, actually, in one of those rounds with a cut on his eye. But he still remained the champion. Zab Judah, too, though, for real. He lost the championship to Baltimore, but he still got to keep the IBF. All right. But anyway, so like I say, you know, he's the champion now. That's the one thing about it. Shout out to Josh Kelly. He's the champion now. What better way? You know, everybody loves the comeback story. You know, I mean, it's so inspirational. You know, you can't count yourself out. You know, just it. I was telling the guys today was working. I said, the only way you can lose is if you quit. The only way you can lose is if you quit. And the kid kept fighting, kept punching, and now he beat the boogeyman in the division. He is the new IBF champion of the world. And guys are gunning for him now. I'm sure they are. They're gunning for him now. I see Xander Zayas invited him to come to Puerto Rico or New York, you know, in a three-way clash. I mean, a unification clash, 3-belt clash, and I would be doing that. If I'm top rank, I'm doing the same thing. You know, I'm looking at Josh Kelly. I think he's a decent fighter, but Xander, they say what he is. Let's get 3 pushes of the title. I got more bargaining power when I go in against Fendora or whoever that. Maybe a Keith Thurman if Keith Thurman comes up lucky in their fight that's coming up soon. So, man, like I say, shout out to Top Rank. You know what I'm saying? Keep moving that boy. Keep pushing that boy. And if you do, like, they was, what's calling them? They was dropping the ball on that. I don't want to put nobody down, but like I said, they should have got to Merzatalayev first. Boots shouldn't have took that damn tune-up. He should have got to Abras or he should have got to Merzatalayev, man. I know Virgil Ortiz is the bigger fight. It's a bigger money fight. You're probably going to get more prestige off of that, but it's the championship. He already won the championships off guys that wasn't really that prestigious. You know, he unified the championship against Danny Onis. They upgraded him to the IBF champion. You know, so he was a two-way champion, got the Ring Magazine belt. Okay, that's cool, great accomplishment. But like I say, jump the gun. Jump the gun, man. At least you would have had a bigger bargaining chip. Then Virgil would have more reason to fight you. You got a championship. But anyway, shout out to Josh Kelly. He won the championship. Shout out to Josh Kelly. So we got those 2 junior middleweight titles going out. I want to do a history lesson on the junior middleweights too. I'll come to you guys probably later on in the week or probably Sunday or something. I do a show Sunday and give you all a little background on the junior middleweight division. That's kind of been around for a little while. You know, these junior divisions, they've been out. You know, it's 17 weight classes. You started out with 8. And the junior divisions, you know, I'm not mad at the junior division for real. I'm not mad at the junior division because if you're a boxer and you big, you know, it could be hard to make this weight. You're not that big enough for this weight. You're too heavy for this weight. So it just, you know, I'm not wrong with the 17 weight classes. I'm not wrong. I'm not mad at that. So, excuse me, I'm not mad at that. You know, everything is live. I don't got no filter. I don't got no editing or nothing. Sometimes I mix my words. I be going back watching my show. Like, you said the wrong stuff. You be mixing your words up so much. Am I dyslexic? I feel like Theo. My mom is dyslexic or something. Is that dyslexic? I don't know. But anyway, so like I say, I want to do a history lesson on the junior division, junior middleweight division, 154-pound division. You call it super welterweight. You call it junior middleweight. I just did one on 140-pound, just a light work on 140-pound division, which was started in 1922 by a boxing writer who managed a fighter named Pinky Mitchell and, you know, made up the championship to support his fighter, to get his fighter going. I've been reading boxing. I've been going back to the great book of boxing. And like I'm saying, none of this stuff is new. You had the New York State Athletic Commission. You had the NBA. And I don't know what the ring is. That's the only thing I'm missing. I really need to talk to somebody that's better. I need to figure that out. You know, like the ring, the New York State Athletic, and the NBA. I don't know if it was a consolidation and then you got the ring or the ring. I don't know. That's one thing I don't know. That's one thing I don't know. But like I say, I'm definitely gonna do some more research on that. But anyway, so let's get back to it, man. I appreciate everybody in the chat. You know who it is. Yours truly is Bernie, the Boxers Winners Wednesday. So we had, let's go to the main card. Okay, let's go to Madison Square Garden. Huh? Let's go to Madison Square Garden where dreams do come true. Shout out to Shushu. Or should I, man? Shout out to Shushu, man. It don't get no better than that. You know, as you know, you've seen the fights. It was a huge weekend. When I say Winners Wednesday, you know who won? Not only did the fighters win, but the fans won. The fans won. It was a great night of boxing. I mean, it was a lot of, they said it was, you know, I seen fight parties around the city. You know what I'm saying? Shakur is like an adopted son. Keyshawn is like an adopted son in the city. So it was like standing room only in a lot of living rooms in the town. You know, so it was a big night of boxing. I'm sure everywhere, you know what I'm saying, everybody was going up. All eyes was on boxing this weekend. And they did not disappoint. You know, Shushu came in. Shout out to, who else fought? Did Zay fight? I think Zay fought earlier in the day. Or did he fought the week before? I can't remember. But he looked it good. Shout out to Zay. Shout out to Zay. But like I say, you know, you got Shushu in there. Shushu looks so good, man. He looks so good. He boxed good. He used his jab. You know, he was in there with a guy who had previously fought for the world title a couple of times, or at least 3 world champions. and come up just short. And he proved his mettle in there with Shushu. He gave Shushu all he could handle. You know, he had some good power. Stumbled Shushu with a equilibrium shot, and he was in there to fight the whole time. But Shushu was piecing him up and was just like, like a bull. He kept sticking him and sticking him and sticking him, and then he caught him at the right time and put him out. Man, it was so beautiful. Shushu got some power, you know, and just keep believing in your power, Shushu. If I can say anything, I don't want you to over believe in it or just lead with the power. Keep boxing. Keep boxing, but you got the power. Like I say, to use that, was that 9th round or something? Oh, my God. The combination he hit him with was so sweet. Shout out to Shushu. And more importantly, I'm so happy for Pops. I'm so happy for his dad. You know, he's a proud father. I got a chance to hang out with them and be cool with them. And he's a nice fella. You know, he's a fella of substance. And he's doing a great job with the son. I think he's teaching him to be a real man. And so shout out to him. What else? You know, a proud father, man. Man, I'm so happy for them guys. And to win it in New York City, in your hometown, in Madison Square Garden, no less, with a spectacular knockout. That was the knockout of the night. That was the knockout of the night, man. I mean, on the main card, I think Keyshawn got the beautiful knockout too. Beat him to death and knocked him out. But Shushu just came all of a sudden. Shushu just came all of a sudden. It was like it was a competitive fight, and then it wasn't a competitive fight. Next thing you know, down goes whatever his name is. What his name was, I can't remember his name. But he went out like a sack of potatoes. Oh, that counter right hand over the top. He finally slipped it and came over the top. He was throwing it and missing with it a little bit and just leading with it. I would have liked to see him throw a lot more hooks, though, for real. I'd have liked to see him use that hook to the body a little bit more. I believe in the hook. I think it's a great weapon. But, you know what I'm saying? He was loading up with that right hand. He finally slipped, came over the top with the right hand. I think he threw the hook to the body, came up. Then he came with the right hand. Then he bing, bing, right hand, left hook, right hand, right. Oh, my God. And, oh, man. Down goes whatever his name was. What's his name? Oh, my God. Burnt out, Bernie. Anyway, so like I said, shout out to Shushu, man. He did a great thing. I'm happy for him. World champion now. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be a featherweight champ. He's going to be the unified champion. He's going for Undisputed, which I would love to see that. We haven't had an Undisputed featherweight champion. What you can say is an Undisputed champion. I always consider the #1 fighter as the Undisputed champion when there's no doubt. And, you know, that was my boy Marco Antonio Barrera when he didn't have no belt. You know what I'm saying? They awarded him the ring championship. He was the people's champion. You hear me? Only fighter I heard in this modern time, they call him the people's champion, the featherweight champion of the people. Shout out to Barrera, which I had a chance to talk with him over the phone early this weekend when I was in Vegas. You feel me? Shout out to Town. Appreciate you for the $4. You hear me? Shout out to my boy Town Biz. Town Biz was mentioned in the movie, bro. Listen, if y'all watched what was that movie? Man, man, I'm gonna come back. Hey, Town Biz, they said, what about Town Biz? I swear to God, I know it ain't. I don't know too many Town Biz. Shout out to Town Biz. But anyway, as I digress, shout out to Shushu again. You know, Ames, you got Nick Ball, the WBA champion. You got the IBF champion. You got the WBO and Espinoza, who's a hell of you know, maybe he want to come see Shushu now. He been kind of reluctant. You know, Shushu called him out a couple times. Been on him trying to get the fight for some other reason. Espinoza don't want it with Shushu. And now I don't blame him. You know, that boy got some power. He can box, you know, and man, you know, but if you want to be champion, you got to defend the title. And why not the fighters consolidate, you know? And plus they on the same side of the street. They got to do it. Top Rank, make it happen. Hear me? Make it happen. Okay. But Shushu, like I say, he tied in with Matchroom too. Shushu a crowd pleaser, you know. So when you can a crowd pleaser, you can go anywhere and everywhere, you know. So maybe we get Nick Ball, which would be a hell of a fight because he a fire plug of a fighter, you know. Keep coming, strong, you know, man. Come on, Angela Leo, like he's come back, knocked out Alberto Lopez, who was like almost like perceived as the boogeyman of the featherweight division. Knocked him out, become a two-way champion, 122. Lost it to Tremaine Williams. Did he lose to Tremaine? No, he lost to Stephen Fulton. Angelo Leo lost to Stephen Fulton. Lost to Stephen Fulton. He beat Tremaine Williams. But anyway, like I say, became a two-way world champion. He's an IBF champion right now, Angelo Leo. You know, I think he would Top Rank too, though, for real, low-key. I think I seen him on the, or is he with Pro Box? One of them. But anyway, let's get an Undisputed champion. I'd love to see that. That was my weight class, 126. I would love to see a Undisputed champion. Like I say, I was watching Willie Pep last night against Sandy Sadler. Man, them boys had 4 fights. The last fight, they was tripping. Well, it wasn't Sadler. It was Pep. Pep was trying to survive every way he could. I mean, he was piecing Sandy Sadler up. I don't know how Sandy Sadler, when you watch him, he don't seem so good. He just walked forward, don't have no head movement, but he was strong. 5'8", had 103 knockouts, a featherweight champion for a long time, retired as a featherweight champion, and still had all his money and lived good, you know. Of course, I read the comments. Good fella, what is you saying? Let me get to the comments. I'm talking right now. I'm talking right now. Jesus. All right. So anyway, so as we go from the featherweight division, we had the return of Keyshawn, the businessman Davis. Man, they call him the amazing. And was he amazing the last weekend? Yes, he was. Yes, he was. You know, and I want to give him a super shout out because, you know, you're going to make mistakes. People make mistakes. You know, you're going to make mistakes, and that's, you can't help it. But all you got to do is ask for forgiveness and make things right, and you can move on. And with God in your corner, you know you can do that. You see, no matter what, he depends on the Lord. He's always praying and talking to the Lord, and the Lord going to help you. You know, the Lord never is, you know, he throw it in the sea of forgetfulness, you know, huh? And if all you need is the Lord, you know, you don't need nobody else but the Lord. Okay, so like I say, the amazing Keyshawn Davis. Beautiful. I love it. Coach Ron, he said Coach Ron gave him that name. And I think that was warranted. You know, shout out to Coach Ron. I think he's a hell of a coach. If you follow Coach Ron, you know, you seen him in the corner with Shakur Stevenson. You seen him in the corner with Troy Isley. He was a top amateur coach. You know, he was a top amateur fighter. Coach Ron is got a hell of a stories, and he's an OG in the game, a veteran in the game. One of those guys that's you know, going into the mode of a Coach Al, you know, but really not in the spotlight a lot. Coach Ron is like in the background a lot, but I love talking to him. I love hearing what he got to say. I love his knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen him as a fighter, and he was a really good fighter. So shout out to Coach Ron. But anyway, he gave him that name, the amazing Keyshawn Davis, and he proved it in his comeback against Jermaine Ortiz. You know, like I say, too, stop saying what like I say. But at any rate, Keyshawn, you know, he has the art of the psychological warfare down to a science. You know, he has the art of psychological warfare down to a science. You know, and you know, you don't give your opponent no rest. You know, he's going to get you, so you want to try to have every advantage over him. You know, back in the days, I told the story before. The fighters, when there was no phones or nothing like that, no TVs, no, you know, like communication was lacking. The fighters used to do stuff like send telegrams, and then, you know, you get a telegram right before you go in the ring. Say something bad happened. Your mom died. Your dog died. Your old lady ran around on you. Anything, you know, anything. They broke in your house, whatever it is. They send you a telegram, try to, you know, right before you go in the ring. So war tactics is not nothing new in boxing, and I think I think Keyshawn Davis has mastered that. You know, he's got, you know, Sonny Liston was a bully. You know, Mike Tyson. You know, they give you those stares. They give you different looks. They you know, they get in your face. You know, they try to rile you up, try to throw you off your game. I was reading actually about the featherweights. Young Corbett out of Denver. I think he was out of Denver against Terry McGovern for the featherweight title. And he talked about his mom. He talked about his woman. He insulted him in the bars and everything else. And by the time he got in the ring, you know, the man was livid. And he outboxed him and knocked out Terry McGovern, the great Terry McGovern from Brooklyn. Shout out to Brooklyn. And so, like I say, war tactics ain't nothing new in boxing. And Keyshawn is keeping up with the tradition. Knocked that boy out, beat him up, mopped the floor with him, busted him up, busted his eye up, hit him with that beautiful hook to the body, knocked him, stayed on him, never let up on him, got him out of there last round. Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. You know, so, you know, Keyshawn, like I say, the amazing Keyshawn Davis, you know, he kept his power late. So that's a lot of different too, though. You know, he was throwing them hard punches, beautiful jab, beautiful distance, beautiful timing. Like I say, the amazing Keyshawn Davis. Shout out to Keyshawn. Way to come back, kid, man. So what we gonna do next for Keyshawn? I seen some stuff come up. I make sure that stuff don't come up on my feed no more though. But they were talking about Keyshawn. I think he went somewhere. You know, everybody going all over the blogs right now. You know, coming off that big night of boxing and spectacular wins. So he was on some blog and they was asking him about Devin Haney and do he want to fight next or should he fight? What's the other kid's name that just won? The other fella that's the IBF champion now over in England. And you know, again, I think he do want the Devin Haney fight. Would that be next? Don't know. You know, he did say he wanted it next, and I would like to see that next. But, you know, again, like he said, you know, instead of trying to criticize him, listen to what he said. You know, the fight builds. It doesn't have to go right now. You know, the fight builds. Maybe he get that championship over there, the IBF champion. What is his name? I can't remember what his name is. The IBF champion, they got the IBF champion now. I want to say Josh Kelly, but he's the IBF junior middleweight champion. I don't know his name, but anyway, the kid from England. So, you know, go over to England, you know, big crowd over there, big fans over there, you know, and Keyshawn take the world by storm over there. And, you know, like I say, come through with a victory over there, fight, get his brand up, get his fan base up in the UK. And, you know, like I say, fight maybe then Devin Haney in the unification, you know. Then he enters as a champion, you know. Like you say, good fella, Devin is a big task. Exactly, exactly. True story. Yes, Devin is a big task. You know, he's been knocked down. He's been kicked around, you know, and he's came back. So, you know, he's tougher. He's educated, you know. And so, like I say, whatever don't kill you only makes you stronger. So, anyway, you know, before that's what I'm saying. These guys on these blogs, they look to try to criticize the fighter. They look to try to look and read into their words and try to turn it into something. They make a whole, like I say, that's like The View. Sound like The View. Niggas like The View. Terrible. Crocker. That's his name. Crocker. Nice. Appreciate you in the chat, John Parham. Yes, sir. Crocker. But, yeah, so, like I say, so I think it's a good fight. You know, Keyshawn, like I said, coming back. He never fought at 147 yet. I think it's a ton of fights at 147. You know, you got Gary Russell going up against Hakura. I got a chance to watch Hakura, like a black Japanese, huh? He ain't just regular like Japanese. I've been watching Japanese. I've been watching documentaries. I got my Hidden Colors up. I got my Out of the Darkness up. And, you know, black folks was in China everywhere, Japan, all over before that. You know what I'm saying? It was the first Japanese was black. You know what I mean? Everybody come from black. But anyway, he looks like a black Japanese. I watched him. I think he's a good little fighter. He got a beautiful step back counter hook. He got a beautiful step back counter hook, but he don't commit with his punches. He got a good flicking jab, but that's really it. You know, he throws the right hand behind it sometimes, but he got a good step back jab. He really don't commit with his punches. And he seemed like an ambitious fighter. I like this style. You know, I think he got a good little style. It's not what you would have thought. But again, go back and watch Hiroka. Yeah, go watch him. Like I say, he like a black Japanese, but I watched him the other day, and like I say, he got a good quick jab. And if you get out of line, he jumps back every time. When you step out, he throws that right hook. He letting that thing go. Not all the time, but he do it just right. And so I think that's a good weapon that he got. You know, he'll come over and he'll shoot the right hand, but he doesn't turn with his punches. He doesn't step in with his punches. He's kind of like punching and running at the same time. But anyway, he's fighting Gary Russell in a bid for the WBA championship. And I think he got that way by way of, I seen him watch Bracero, who gave Rolly Romero a hell of a fight for their WBA championship. And they gave Rolly the title on the strength, and I don't think he deserved it. I think Bracero really won that fight. But I think based on that, they had Bracero ranked up really high and still in WBA. And this kid beat him. So Hiroka is going to get a chance against Gary Russell, who's perceived as the boogeyman of the 140-pound division. And nobody's calling out Gary Russell. Nobody's calling out Gary Russell. You know, he had that setback against Puello. You know, that was a great learning lesson for him. You know, he fought Rayo in a good fight. Look, his best fight to date. Looked really sharp. You know, Rayo is a good fighter. He just coming off a hard victory this weekend against that Diego Torres kid. Man, he was cut. That guy gave him everything he wanted, but he ended up coming out with the victory. So shout out to Rayo. Shout out to my boy No Mercy Tally. If you catch me on my YouTube, you see me watching. I got him on there with him getting his hand raised. If you go watch No Mercy Tally, you know what I'm saying, go check him out. That was a beautiful second round knockout. He looked so good. The way he carried it the whole fight. His punch selection was great. Everything he did was great. His hand speed was great. I loved everything he did. It was a great performance. And it's a complete performance in my book. Got that guy out of there in 2 rounds. Shout out to No Mercy. Okay, so yeah. But anyway, like I said, Rayo became champ. Gary Russell beat him for the championship. And now he's making his first title defense. Wish I would have seen him earlier. But if it was a fifth and shoulda, woulda, coulda. But now he's going up against Soroka in his first title defense. And I think he is the boogeyman of the division. Nobody's calling out Gary Russell. So let's just see how it goes, you know. But again, like I say, Keyshawn at 140, you know, like I say, if you want to get your name up, that'll be a great win. That'll be a great fight, you know. Like I say, he's looking for big fights only right now. That's what he said. And I think that's a big fight. I think it's a bigger fight than Crocker. You know, nobody knows Crocker outside of the UK. But, you know, business is business. You hear me? He 26. Let's ride this thing out. You know, let's ride this thing out. You know, you don't want to cash in too early. You hear me? You don't want to cash in too early. Boxing has changed so much since the days of the glory days, you know. So shout out to Keyshawn Davis. Way to come back. Now, you had in the main event, you had Shakur Stevenson win the lineal Junior Welterweight Championship. So he's the #1 guy in the division, beating Teofimo Lopez, 2-time world champion, former Undisputed lightweight world champion, and the Ring Magazine champion, beating Josh Taylor. Wins over Lomachenko, a talented boxer, great personality, if you want to say that, charismatic guy. But he just didn't have nothing coming when it came to Shakur. Who can beat him? Nobody gonna beat Shakur. That's the hardest task. Red calls him a conundrum. And I'm saying that, the unsolvable problem. How you gonna beat him? You feel me? Only way Shakur going is if he slow down. That's the only way gonna beat him is Shakur. Only person can beat him is him at this point. You know, I think some guys can give him trouble, but nah, he's an unsolvable puzzle. That jab, the timing, the distance, easy. Beat him basic. Beat him basic. You see Tim Bradley say he ain't even did much yet. He ain't even reached his prime. He ain't even showed all he could do yet. If he ain't showed all he can, I swear to God, it look like that, don't it? It got to be great that you can beat guys in first gear. You beating so-called great guys and top-tier guys in first gear? Man, in first gear, that says a lot. And, you know, I was thinking Shakur got a style that never been done before. I can't think of nobody in history that got his style. You know, I might stumble across it because I'm talking it now. I might bring it to fruition where I watch, but not, man, you know, he's not really a guy that engages. And boxing has been always been predicated on action, you know, especially in the old days, you know, it was predicated on action. And now more days is predicated on defense. A lot of guys, you know, going into the defense part of it. And back then it was more offense, you know. A lot of good defense too. Like you seen Georgie Benton. Willie Pep was a great boxer. But, you know, he slipped and moved and rolled and danced. You know, Shakur just got that distance where he just steps right out of range where you can't hit him. And I've never seen a style like that, you know. And he got an unbeatable style at this point right now. So shout out to that kid. I mean, he beat Teofimo, busted him up. I mean, he just didn't have nothing for him. Now, one thing, and he said it. He kept telling him, you don't have nothing for me. I mean, he beat the guy in first gear. Nobody wanted with Shakur neither. I heard Ashaki saying that he wanted. I don't know. You know, I don't know. I don't know if he really wants it to sound good. And you know, Ashaki, I think he a real street guy. I would say I don't think he barred none. You know, I don't think he, you know, really afraid of him. But I don't know if he got a chance to beat him, though, for real. I don't know if he got a chance to beat him. I don't know who could beat that guy. You know, I don't know who could beat that guy for real, man. 135, 140, I don't know. I think Gary Russell will give him a lot of challenge. I think Gary Russell will give him a lot of challenge, but I don't know who could beat that kid right now. I mean, he looked amazing, man. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson, 4-weight world champion now. So now as we talking about resumes and we going to comparisons, you know, you can't take it nothing away from him. He's a 4-weight world champion. He's a 2-time Ring Magazine champion. He beat the #1 guys truly in the 3 divisions. Well, Tank, okay, so he beat Valdez, #1 guy, by way of his win off of what was the kid? Burchell. Knocked out Burchell in excellent fashion and beat Valdez, outclassed Valdez. It wasn't even close to the same thing. Valdez was an Olympian and a two-way world champion at the time, and Shakur made it look like nothing. And like I say, he went up and fought, beat a guy with, and De Los Santos. Everybody keep talking about running back with De Los Santos. Why? He beat him with one hand. He beat him with one hand. What the fuck he got to do proof with that for? One hand. He beat the man with one hand. Y'all mad at that? Go rewatch the fight. He beat him with one hand. So what if it was boring? When this one look good, the next one, did he look good? Did he look good his last couple fights, didn't he? Look hella good in his last couple fights. What more do you want for the man? What y'all want? Y'all gonna be mad. Y'all trying to see the man get hit, go down. He ain't going down. You will never see that man on the ground. You will never see that man on the ground, man. That man ain't going on the ground. Boy, that boy got his antennas is always up. He's alert, the most alert boxer you ever gonna see. Huh? Most alert boxer you ever gonna see. Shh. Man, he gotta be top 3 pound for pound right now. Him and Bam right now, leaders of the new school right now, pound for pound. Him and Bam right now, they with the resumes they got, they leaders of the new school right now. Bam and Shakur right now, leaders of the new school. Ain't no doubting about that. Leaders of the new school right now. Pound for pound. If you take away the old guard, them guys is #1 right now. 1 and 2 right now. If you take away the old guard, Usyk, you take away Crawford, definitely he retired now. You got Inoue right in there. But Inoue is basic as hell. Inoue is basic as hell. But I'm not hating on him. I like Inoue. True story, I like Inoue. He's a puncher. But like I say, when you talk about all around, I think Bam got it all around. I think he got everything. I think Bam, but I think he #1 for real. Pound for pound right now, I think he #1. I give him #1 right now. Shakur right there with him and Inoue right there with him. Of course, Usyk, you know, we can't. But of the young guys, then the top 3 right there. Bam, Shakur, and Inoue. Inoue is kind of, I'm going to say he's still a young guy. He only, 31, something like that. And he just now coming into the fold, been a world champion. He's a 4-weight world champion, if I'm not mistaken, 108. I think he missed 112. Did he go 112? Can't remember. He might be a 4-weight world champion too. He's the current undisputed world champion right now, getting ready for the Inoue, for the Nakatani fight. And I can't wait for that fight. Nakatani didn't look good in his last fight, but you know what I'm saying? I think he's going to be better in this one coming up. You see, as a matter of fact, I'll give you a reference to that. Oscar De La Hoya, Sweet Pea Whitaker, didn't look good against Dio Bayless Hurtado. I heard Breadman talk about that too. He didn't look good against Dio Bayless Hurtado. He was losing the fight, caught Dio Bayless Hurtado with a straight left hand and knocked him out with 10 consecutive left hands. If you ain't got nothing to do, go back and watch that fight and go watch the knockout if nothing else. Caught him with 10 consecutive left hands and knocked him out the ring. Beat him out the ring to save the fight with Oscar De La Hoya. Went up there with a young bull and Oscar De La Hoya and arguably won the fight. No less than a draw. No less than a draw. But anyway, like I say, so them guys is top 3 right now in the pound for pound rankings right now. Shakur, like you got to put him up there, top 3 for real, top 3, 4, definitely 5. You know what I mean? I couldn't say nobody else better than him right now. And the way he beat the guys too, the way he beat the guys. See, anyway, if you want to give him points, he got dropped in one of them fights. Shakur never been dropped. You know, Shakur never been in a close fight, never. He beats them guys handily. Excuse me. Damn, I don't know. I guess talk too damn much. I get to burping and get to... Anyway, so like I say, Shakur, got to give him his credit, man. Beautiful performance. And shout out to Tio, man. I feel bad for him. Like I said, you know, I don't like his tactics. I didn't like his tactics. But, you know, he's a fighter nevertheless. And I have him give him grace being a fighter, you know, being a champion. And I had to give him grace as just a fighter. Like I say, it's not easy going there and putting your life on the line, putting your reputation on the line in front of millions of people, you know, and climbing up them steps and putting your medal on the line against other great fighters. You know, anything can happen in that ring. And, you know, I'm not saying about dying, just getting beat. That motherfucker give you hell of a trouble. You thought he wasn't that good, but when you got in there with him, he was more awkward. He was stronger than you thought, and he gave you the fits, you know. So you just never know what's going to happen when you get in that ring. But listening to Shakur, I seen him with the talking about how he ran into T.O. in the medicals and how he was alone. And I felt, I know how he felt. I felt bad. I felt bad when the spit stain came. Made me think of that. I don't want to get too emotional. But like I say, I felt real bad for that guy because he had a lot of people hanging around him. And once he lost, he didn't have nobody up there with him. I think he should have had a group around him. And that's real sad, you know, but that's life, which is a sad, you know, most likely they with you when you're winning and when you're down, they gone. They disappear like they never knew you. You know, they disappear like they never knew you. Not even dad, not even your dad about a dumbass fight. All the stuff that man accomplished, all the stuff he been through, everything, and you the pops. How you gonna leave your son? That's just heartbreaking, man. That's just disrespectful and sad, you know, just terrible, man. And shout out to Shakur. You know, like I say, that kid got a lot of guts. He got a lot of heart. He has not only he's a throwback type of fighter. I think he has a throwback type of mentality. You know, he's been counseled by guys with integrity, Bud Crawford, Andre Ward, James Prince. You know what I'm saying? He's been counseled by these guys. These guys have counseled him, and these guys have character, integrity, and he takes that. So, you know, he's kind of a young guy with an old soul. You see, he's not really flashy. You know, see, he's not really, you know, he's kind of like a laid-back guy. Nothing really moves him. You know, he ain't trying to be in the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? He be real chill. I love, like I say, even when he get out them, you know, shout out to that kid, boy. Like I say, that kid, that's a good kid, that kid. Shout out to him, man. Best in the world right now, for real. True story. One of the best, for real. And right now is his time. And we ushered in the Shakur Stevenson era. Like I say, Bam ain't too far. You know, man, so these guys, we in good company. Boxing is in good company. All right. So before I keep going, who else did I miss? I got to Shakur. And where do they go? Where do Tio go? I don't know. Where does he go? He said he going to 147. Where does he go? You know? I don't know. I think you need to lead by, I think you need to get better by that first step. You know what I'm saying? A quick guy he can see it coming. You know, you can see it coming. So maybe you need to double up the jab, you know what I'm saying? Be more subtle with your steps, because with a guy like Shakur, boy, if you could blink, he gone. You know what I'm saying? If you blink, he gone. You make one false move, he gone. You know what I'm saying? That's he gonna do that first. You know, he gonna do that first. He gone. He gonna step back, he gonna get out of range first. He gonna get out of range where you can't hit him, but he can hit you. That's God-given. That's God-given. That's God-given. You ain't seen nobody like that. You ain't seen nobody like that. You know, he been getting a lot of flack still, even though he looks so good. You know what I'm saying? They still gonna hate on that man, but man, he beat him. Did you see both his eyes was closed? Man, it wasn't looking like that, but he beat him to death. He beat him to death. He beat that man to death. Hurt him to the body. With that uppercut to the body. When he fell over, nasty. Timing impeccable. Power, you see, he got some power. He cut the man up, busted both his eyes. He ain't whooped nobody like that. Shakur ain't whooped nobody like that, have he? He ain't busted nobody up like that. With both eyes closed? Damn. Talking about he can't punch. Shit. You shitting me. That's a motherfucker that can punch right there. Excuse my language. That boy can punch right there. I told you just like that. Like I say, you know, I got a lot of flack. I talk a lot of stuff, and I might say, and everybody only listen to the junk I talk, the criticism that I give. But in between, I try to tell y'all, just like I told y'all about Devin, don't y'all never think that man can't punch. You talking about he can't punch. He put Brian Norman down. Don't you never, listen, that man is training 6, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, strength and conditioning. You think he can't punch? Shit. You think the punches don't hurt? You ain't taking them. That's why you talking like that. Because you ain't the one taking them. Man, boy, you better, boy. On the outside, it look easy. On the outside, you can say what you will do, what you won't do till you get in there, till you in that situation. And boy, that boy put out a demonstration, beat him down. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson. That guy's wonderful. Okay. You said Brian Norman was put down before. Yes. Yes, he was. But Devin was perceived that you can't put nobody down. That was the knock on Devin. That's why I'm saying that. Okay, anyway, let's go from the bottom to the top. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of comments. Appreciate everybody in the chat. I got 46 people in there. I got 41 likes. Not too bad. Let's get to 40. Let's get to 46 likes. Let's get to 46 likes. He said, "What's good, Burn? Appreciate you." Malik Singer. Yes, sir. What you doing? He said, "Hit the like button. Do it." He said, "Xander gonna give Boots a lot of problems." Hey, with the way he moving in boxing, and he world champion 2 times now, I wouldn't disagree. I wouldn't disagree. Jafari Caesar says, "Salute, Bernie. Bernie made me a believer. They tell me I changed on my guy, but in order to be the man, you have to beat the man. Salute to B&B. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Hello, can you do a shout out to me, Penny McKenzie? Shout out to Penny McKenzie. Appreciate you for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Mama, Papa, whoever he is, I don't know. Penny, I don't know. You know, if it's Penny Hardaway. I don't know if it's, boy or girl, but whoever, man, woman, and child. Bernie, appreciate you 1,000 times. Reno, what's goody, nephew? Come on, man. You got to get back in the gym, baby. Miss you, man. You got to get back in the gym. You got too much talent. Like I say, you got too much talent. You got to understand this too, Reno. I want you to understand this too. Made me think real quick, thinking about you. You growing up. Listen, you got enough talent. You ain't got to be world champ, but you can go to college for boxing. They got boxing in colleges, man. You can be a top boxer in college, man. Get you a degree. Come on, you ain't got to go to pro with this shit, man. But you got too much talent. And they say the saddest thing in life is wasted talent. He said, I know Bomac wants to protect Keyshawn's integrity, but Bomac clearly dropped Keyshawn, right? I'm from Virginia, but the truth is the truth. Like I say, I don't want to give too much on that. No, Bomac didn't drop Keyshawn. Keyshawn thought it was feasible for him to go somewhere else, and I'm not upset about that. I think he got the great guys with him from the bottom. You seen, what's the kid's name? You got definitely Randall. I love Randall. I think Randall's a good coach. He knows his boxing, and he's a good person inside. I think he's a good person, and he has their best interests at hand. And you got... what's the other kid's name? The heavyweight, the big heavyweight guy. He was a good fighter too. Heavyweight guy. I got Coach Ron in the back. Like I gave you all the backstory on Coach Ron. He got some good guys with him. So shout out to them guys. Shout out to the whole team. I hope they do nothing but the best. Nothing but the best on them guys. Keyshawn a fighter. For real, true story. All you gotta do is give him the water. Keyshawn, all you gotta do is give him the water. He like Bud. Definitely you need a team, and I'm not taking away from the team, but he's one of those guys that all you got to do is give him the water. He's got a natural instinct for fighting, and that's what it is. He got a natural instinct for fighting. He has a great jab. He got great movement, great timing, great speed and power, and he got that mean streak in him. So, like I said, all you got to do is give him the water. You feel me? Just give him the water. He might need a little reassurance, because we all have self-conscious or we are a little, insecure a little bit to a certain degree. But, that's why you need a team to reassure him. But far as fighting, put him out there, he gonna go. Shushu is nice technically. Shushu is nice technically. I thought he just went a little too high with his jab. I thought he raised up too high. And I don't like Sergio Mora as a commentator for real, but he noticed that. Sergio Mora was a world champion. So he do know something. I just don't like his commentating for real. But anyway, like I say, Shushu was a little too high when he was shooting his jab. But other than that, I think, he's a good little fighter. He proved that as an amateur and now as a world champion. It's yours truly. It's Marino Boxer. Oh, facts over feelings. North side, stand up. You know where we at, boy. We on the north side of Omaha, Nebraska. Marion, man, appreciate you. He say, turn up, Bernie. That's what it is. It's Winners Wednesday, huh? He said, I'm a winner. The only way you can't win is if you quit. And winners never quit, and quitters never win. Wise words from yours truly. He said, how was retirement? Well deserved. Kid, you heard him. He going on every platform. Hey, he in peace. Can't do nothing else. Google account. Yo, Bernie, what's up, bro? Appreciate ya. What he say? The GOAT Bernie. That's me. Since a baby, since a tyke. You hear me? 101. Goodfella says, Crawford support means a lot to Shakur. Respect to Crawford. Yeah, man. Beautiful to have a guy in your corner like that. And this ain't nothing new. This ain't nothing new. Sugar Ray Robinson was a great support to Muhammad Ali. Archie Moore and Sandy Sadler, they were great guys together. George Foreman was with Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston was with George Foreman. So it ain't nothing new in boxing. Nothing new in boxing. And again, it's a brotherhood at the same time. Like I say, some stuff that we got to do, though, is not warranted in boxing. And I wish we show a little bit more respect for each other. A boxer is a trained assassin off the rip. You go in there to beat. When you sign up to box, most likely, you just signed up to whoop somebody's ass for no reason. He ain't got to did nothing to you. You just ready to whoop his ass. You got some reason you want to fight. You want to whoop his ass. You ain't going there to get your ass. We're going to whoop his ass. He ain't said nothing bad to you. If he say something bad to you or disrespect you or do something or hit you too hard, it's only fuel to the fire. Other than that, you going to whoop his ass. Any boxer is crazy. We going there just to whoop ass for no reason. For no reason. To make you look silly, embarrass you. Yeah, some of that stuff is unwarranted. But anyway, like I say, you always had mentors in boxing. And it's good to have a mentor in boxing, somebody that been around, somebody that feels your pain. You hear me? Okay. Shakur beat someone that got badly beat by Kambosos, so not a great win. That's just terrible. That's just terrible. That was a great fight with him and Kambosos. That was an action fight. And listen, y'all keep talking shit about Kambosos, but Kambosos paid his dues. Now, he earned his way up. You know, Kambosos wasn't given nothing. You know, he earned his way. You know, this guy was a good fighter. Now, maybe not a great fighter, but a good fighter. You had to also think that T.O. was using his emotions when he was fighting, and he lost a split decision. You know, so it was a competitive fight. He just lost. But Kambosos had already been seasoned in to win. He believed in himself, number one. He had already fought a world champion in Mickey Bay who gave him the education to go into that next phase to fight for a championship. Mickey Bay was a good fighter, an Olympian, a former world champion in himself, and a good fighter, nevertheless. And so he got that education, even though they got Mickey Bay sitting off on the shelf for like, I don't know how long the kid was on the shelf, but it still was an education because he knows his way around the ring. He's a seasoned professional, and he got that education. Like I say, so Kambosos, he earned his right to be that. And like I say, to beat a guy like T.O., listen, who I want to think of somebody. I mean, it's been other guys that beat world champions that wasn't perceived as great as they were, but they beat them. You know, that's just how it is. So for that one night, he was great. For that one night, he was great, and I can't take nothing away from Kambosos. You feel me? Can't take nothing away from him. And I can't take nothing away from Shakur because, again, you talking about him losing to Kambosos, but what did he do after that? What did he do after that? Come on now, you can't take, listen, he come back and beat the lineal champion, come back and beat the undisputed champion, Josh Taylor, had some good wins. You know, come on, bro. You can't take it away. And Shakur beat him handily. Beat him worse than Kambosos. Come on now. Come on now. What'd he say? Alexi Contreras, hit the like button. I got 55 likes. I got 55 people in there. Appreciate everybody in the chat. He says, bro, hating on Shakur. You in the wrong live, homie. Listen, I'm not going to go fight with nobody else. I got to understand. And before I keep going, you know, it was informed to me that, like Keyshawn said, he had told me that it was somebody close to him, somebody close to me that sent him the little clip that I had on Mill City. And so I had to be careful with my words. And I have to understand that maybe the people right up under you, you know, ain't so friendly with you anyway. They plotting on your downfall, whatever it is. But I'm not gonna worry about that because I don't have to mix my words, or I'm not afraid to say I can do two-time talk behind your back into your face. But I say that to say this: I ran into Andre Ward, and you know, I kind of felt his energy, and you know, like I say, I want to apologize for my words. The way I worded it, it really wasn't like we was friends or like it was love in what I said. And I said they didn't have the guts to ask Keyshawn them tough questions. And somebody else sent it to him, and they, you know, sent it to him like I was talking bad about him, which I wasn't. And I didn't, the way I should reframe that. So I'm trying to watch my words and the way I say things so they can't be taken out of context. So I want to give a super shout out to Andre Ward. I apologize if you took it some way, you know, Roy Jones, all that, which I did say that in that live when I was talking. I did say that in that live, you know, but again, sometimes I get to talking and I say things that's kind of harsh or it sounds really harsh and I don't really mean it in that way. But, so yeah, super shout out to them guys. I didn't mean it that way. And I was just saying, you know, again, ask these guys the tough questions like Larry Merchant. That's why I love Larry Merchant, because Larry Merchant asks you the real shit. Stop being fluffing. No fluffing around with these guys. You can't make these do. You gotta listen. This is somewhat a journalism that we're doing. Somewhat journalism. So get your journalism up, you know. Do some more research. And I think I'm not talking about Andre Ward. I'm not talking about Andre Ward or Roy Jones. Them guys doing a great job, you know. And I love the way they talk, the way they got poetic language, the way they talk. They really good, you know, and I hope to make it to that platform one day. But again, like I'm saying, your journalism, man, listen, you got to ask the tough questions. You know what I'm saying? When there's guys like that in the hot seat, it's just like 2020. It's just like Dateline. You hear me? You got to ask them the tough questions. That's what you're there for. Not to be everybody's friend. You can still, listen, not to be everybody's friend. If they get in front of the camera and they talking and they asking and they already out there, it's already out there asking. Shit, you can't get nothing. Closed mouth don't get fed. Ask him. So anyway, like I say, again, I want to apologize to Andre Ward, you know what I'm saying, for the way I worded what I said. You know, if you go back in my live, I think I deleted the live right now. I was kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of hot-headed at the time. And I was really upset at somebody else in the media. And it wasn't those guys. You know, I really wasn't mad at those guys. I was mad at the guys for taking my words and trying to spin them and turn it into something, making 10 damn shows about me and trying to sow more discontent into something that really wasn't discontented, but trying to put discontent into that. But anyway, as I digress, like I say, so I'm trying to shoot my words, prove my words, and I'm not going on no platform argue about Shakur already proved it with his hands and with his accomplishments. It's crazy how boxing came from bare knuckle. Hey, hey, I was looking at Joe Louis, watching Joe Louis last night too against Tony Galeno. I said, what the heck? What kind of gloves was those? What size was those? I think Joe Louis was fighting in 6 ounces, man. As a heavyweight, I think Joe Louis was fighting in 6 ounces. I ain't lying. And I think them other guys was fighting in 4-ounce gloves. I don't know what they was fighting in, boy, but they used to have horsehair. It's crazy. But with bare knuckle, you know, they used to wrestle. It wasn't just boxing. They used to wrestle and everything too. So everything got to evolve, just like everything, you know. Everything evolves. The world evolves. You evolve. Everything got to evolve, okay? But some stuff you just got to leave. It can't evolve, keep evolving. You got to let it go. You got to just let some stuff go, like that Ring Magazine belt. I love that Ring Magazine belt. It's beautiful, but I like it the old-fashioned one. The new one, it's okay because it's the ring belt. It's okay. But do I like it better than the old one? No. I'm old-fashioned. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned, stuck in my ways. I like that old ring belt. Let's get back to the ring belts. Shout out to Juno Turner says, shout out to Bruce Carrington and Abdullah Mason and Richard Hitchens. Richard Hitchens got a big fight coming up. Shout out to Rich. He didn't get to fight in the Garden, but he fight on the big card under Barrios and Ryan Garcia. Antoine Russell versus Hikora. And you got Richard Hitchens going up against Duarte, who's a tough guy, who's a tough out, beat Kenny Sims in the hometown to win. Of course, he got knocked out by Ryan Garcia. But, you know, he came back. He beat Kenny Sims. I feel so bad for Kenny Sims. I love Kenny Sims. I think they stalled him out. And he should have had a shot at one of those titles. He should have got a shot at Bracero before everybody else, before Rolly. But, you know, it's politics in this thing. Rolly got a big mouth, got a big following, got a lot of charisma. And, you know, so he beat him out for the shot at the title and became world champion. And he boosted him up to the world champion round. Rolly, right, world champion right now. Damn, shit work out for you, boy. Sometimes, like I say, even the sun shine on a dog ass someday. Goodfella says, we rock with Shakur in Brooklyn. Say it's Brooklyn in the house. Okay. Dank Swizzle says, if you could only buy firearms, one manufacturer for the rest of your life, who would you pick? If you could only buy firearms, one manufacturer, who would you? I'm going with Smith & Wesson. That's the only one I know. I never had no guns. These was my guns, man. These was my guns, man. I had 2 guns in my life. I had 3 guns in my life. I got 1 gun. I took my little brother. We went up on the hill. We went to shoot it. Man, I probably was like 14, I think. Maybe 14. I think I was 9th grade. Yeah, 14. Probably 14. Went up, shoot the gun jammed up, didn't shoot. Threw the gun away. Let me see. I went to get another gun. I had another gun. I went to get this other gun. So I think it's 2 guns. I had another gun. I went to get this gun, right? Because, you know, like I said, I used to gang bang and everything like that. And I never carried no gun, but I just wanted to just catch him one time. I just wanted to just fire on these niggas one time, you know? So I goes to get this gun, so I had the gun on layaway for 1 whole year. True story. I bought it from the pawn shop. A beautiful little 25 or something. Wasn't nothing crazy. But anyway, I had the gun on layaway for 1 whole year. 1 whole year. The gun was only 125. I could have bought the gun that day, but 1 whole year. So I goes and finally I say, I don't got nothing to do. Sometimes I be bored, don't got nothing to do. Say, fuck, go get your gun then. You know what I'm saying? Already going to buy new shoes, new clothes. Fuck going to get the new shoes. It's time to go get you the gun. So I goes get the gun. I go get the gun. I go get it registered. I got the permit to get the gun registered. So I go down, fill out the information for the gun. I'm sitting there waiting on the lady to come back with the information. And the lady come back get mad at me. She said, nah, I never been no felon. I beat every case I had. I never was no felon and none of that, right? Been in a lot of stuff, but I always beat the case. So she said, the woman got me up there, got mad at me, talking about the FBI and bringing up stuff that I've been into. Man, when she said the FBI with my name, shit, I hurried up and took that gun back. I said, ma'am, I don't want no gun. If the FBI got my name in their mouth and they know I got a gun, they already know I got the dope. They don't need to know I got the dope and the gun. I'm already doing too much. They got my name in their mouth for the dope and the gun. I don't need no gun. So I give them back the gun. I go hurry up and give back the gun. So I don't carry no gun. These are only guns I ever needed. You hear me? I go with this and these and this. So I got the brain, I got the heart, and I got these. Okay? Hey, Brendan, who the best young boxer right now to you? I just told you. I got Shakur and Bam right now. So it's a lot of great young boxers right now. We got a fighter, Carlito Garribo, going up. This kid, I see a lot of big things for this kid. You know, he was a really good amateur. I think he got a better pro style. 126 pounder going to make his debut February 21st right here in Lincoln. February 22nd right here in Lincoln. Man, just check him out. Somebody probably go live, but if you ain't following him, go follow him. Carlito Garribo. Okay? Beautiful. Who else? Like I say, I love Shushu. I like what he's doing. Who else is it? The flyweight champion, Osalaga, wherever his name is. I think he's pretty good. So some good fighters out there. Town Biz. Nah, whatever. I want to hit the button. Appreciate you. Joe Turner says Bruce Carrington in a way. I don't know yet. I don't know, but Bruce gonna give everybody a problem. I think, like I say, when you win the championship, that's what they say. That's the lure in boxing. When you win the championship, you get 50% better. You had a golden retriever's personality. Can I pet? Damn, that's fucked up, boy. You be saying something. And that's gay. Don't say no gay ass shit in here. All right, Godzilla in New York. They need to set it up, whatever that means. Oh yeah, Espinosa's the beast. Bernie, you don't read comments? Of course I do. Now I'm back. Boxing. He said KO breaking boxing news. Appreciate you. What's goody? DJ O'Keefe 8425. Bud's a goat. Never seen that type of mentality. No clown shit. True story. He says, Joe Turner, 4839, says, I want to see Keyshawn versus Dalton Smith. Good fight. Good fight. Good fight. Strong guy. Beat the boogeyman of the division. Was a perceived boogeyman of the division at the time. Beat Matisse. Knocked him out, didn't he? Knocked him out. Oh, snap. Knocked him out. Good fight for Keyshawn. I say, but I'm favoring Keyshawn over everybody, for real. Low-key, anybody when they go up against, if it ain't them guys, you know, which they ain't never going to fight, who going to beat Keyshawn for real? Like I say, Tim Bradley said it, man. He like Bud Crawford, man. He like Bud Crawford. Now, as long as he's stable in there mentally, I ain't never seen him unstable in the ring, you know, but as long as he got everything going outside, he going to be great. All he got to do is keep God first and really hang on to him and really hold on to the Lord, you know. We can say it, but we got to do it. It's actions speak louder than words. The kid just keep hanging on to the Lord and really looking to him, he'll do great. And he done made some mistakes, atone for those mistakes, apologize, and move forward. That's exactly what I did. When I got my life right with the Lord, that's one thing I did. I had to make sure that I apologized to everybody that I crossed. I had to forgive everybody that I perceived that crossed me. And then I had to just move forward, doing right, being right. That's it. Just moving righteously. If you move righteously, the universe is gonna work in your favor. True story. Shout out to my boy Keyshawn, the amazing Davis. You hear me? Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney. Good fight. Good fight. I understand the weight clause that he said. And like I said this about the rehydration clause. They keep talking about Tank and all this and all that. Stop. This one person. We talking about this right now. Listen to the logic. You know, IBF already has a rehydration clause in it. So the World Championship organization bodies is already in that. You know, and why would you want to fight a guy that's coming in 20 pounds overweight, 20 pounds heavier than you? You know, that just don't make no sense. He really need to go up, you know, so ain't nothing wrong with that. And I feel like the rehydration clause or whatever the IBF is doing is better for you because you will be in better shape. And again, I listened to the commentators. Like you said, I think the kid came in a little too heavy. Listen, man, you want to come in nice and trim. You don't want to gain too much weight after you make your weight. You know, you don't want to have to lose too much weight. You want to do it over time and do it right so you can be at your maximum. I honestly don't like that those bosses keep moving up. That those bosses keep moving up like Shakur trying to fight Conor Benn to get another title in the junior welterweight. Go get another title in junior welterweight division first. But listen, okay, you got to understand this. It's about the money. It's about the money. He already got the Ring magazine bill, family. Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. Now, come on, Charlie. I'm in my Chicago bag now. Come on, Joe. Listen, he already got the Ring magazine bill. Ain't nothing else to get after that. That's the tops. He number one in the world, right? Best in the division right now. Fuck it. Go up there and get the money. Listen, Sweet Pea went up in 54 and got the 4th division world title against Cesar Vasquez, okay? Then he came back down and defended the welterweight title a couple more times. Listen, the man, listen, he going to get the money. Listen, this shit ain't going to last forever, family. Joe, you got to remember that. He had already moved up in weight and got a title. Why? He already moved up and got a title. Now I'm going to get the bigger bucks. Use my fame. Use my everything that I got, my name, and go all around the world and get the money. Because at the end, Shorty can't eat no books. You heard him? Shorty can't eat no books. Hector Colon, Bernie the Boxer, the best at what he does. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you 1,000 times. Lewis Crocker, that's his name, the welterweight champ. That's the IBF champ that Keyshawn businessman talk about mentioning fighting, going over there. Do it! Eddie Hearn, sign it up right now. Get him over there with Conor Benn. Get Shakur over there with Conor Benn and get the kid on there on the undercard against Lewis Crocker. Do it. You can't get no better than 247-pound fights. Listen, man, 2 big stars over there. Do it, man. Turkey Island Sheik got the money. Take them boys around the world. Take them over there to the stadium and fill that thing up. They say them boys got the... Man, fill that thing up. Fuck, what you talking about? Now I'm matchmaking like a motherfucker. Come on, Eddie. Come on, do it, man. Do it, man. Okay, I got a couple people fell out. So anyway, I'm going to keep reading comments. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for the comments. He says, easy work boxing, can I interview you? Man, hit me up. You got my phone. You know what I'm saying? You got my number. If you don't, it's 402-686-6529. Catch me on Instagram. You can Instagram me. You know what I'm saying? You can DM me on my Instagram. Let's set it up. What you think about Ryan versus Key if Key sleeps Barbosa? Ryan ain't fighting Barbosa. He fighting, what's the kid's name? He fighting, what's the kid? Barrios. Fighting Barrios. I'm favoring Keyshawn over everybody. Like I say, he's going to be hard to beat. He's going to be hard to beat. But Key just got into the junior world division. He needs to chill there and fight a champion. Crocker is a welterweight. But he want to go up to 47. Listen, ambition is everything. Don't stop the man's ambition. Don't knock the man's ambition. Don't knock the man's ambition. He pretty solid. Okay. You stole McGregor's voice. Jersey in the house. Shout out to Jersey. Shout out to Jersey. Hey, Bernie, what's your thoughts on the Super 6 tournament for 140? I love it. I love it. Let's get them boys in a round robin. Let's get him. Shakur did damn good. Yes, he did. The gun need a middleweight and a gun to beat Shakur. They need a gun to beat middleweight and a... That's the only way you gonna beat him up. You gotta shoot him up. Because you better not, you can't whoop him with them hands, boy. Shakur, boy, I call him Mr. Unbeatable. You hear me? Now I know that everybody got a way, but who? Right now, it's like, where's Waldo? Who he gonna find? You better, they gonna have to put a Great White Hope search out on him. You know, like they did with Great White Hope, trying to find anybody to beat Jack Johnson. That's what they're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to, yeah. You're gonna have to go get a middleweight. You're gonna have to go get somebody. You're gonna have to get 2 people in there to beat him. You got to get 2 people in there to beat him. What'd he say? The only person that can beat Shakur is Jerron Enos, but I don't think that fight. Nah, come on now. No, fuck. No. That's just out of line. Like I'm saying, look at what I'm trying to say. They talking about getting boots to beat him. Jesus, what'd he do to him? What'd he do to him? We all know what was going to happen. Shit, we didn't know that. You did not know that till they climbed up them steps. We did not know that. T.O. been rose to the occasion a couple times. He was a good fighter. He had concussive power. We didn't know that, but now we know. Like I say, you don't know what happened till you get in the ring. All right. Appreciate everybody in the comments, man. What I got? I've been over an hour right now. And So listen, like I said, I had to say something. Hope you do this. Do me a couple things. Like, subscribe, share. Go run it back. Again, like, subscribe, share. Tune in to me. Catch me. Follow me at Bernie the Boxer right here on YouTube. Bernie THA Boxer. Follow me on Instagram at Bernie THA Boxer. Like I said, go follow my boy Jamar No Mercy Tally. Go follow the kid Carlito Garibo. Go follow Jose Camacho. Go follow Lolo Harris. You know what I'm saying? These are the young up and coming fighters that we got on the roster. And looking forward to do big things in boxing, worlds of talent, yeah, Lester Martinez. See, we got Lester Martinez going up fighting. They're going to be fighting him and Lolo fighting in San Bernardino. So if you ain't following Lester Martinez, if you didn't go see his great victory or great fight with Billy, the newly crowned super middleweight champion in WBC, go check that out. It's on Netflix. Go check it out on YouTube, wherever you can find it. It was a great fight. They fought to a draw. Go check that out. Go follow Lester Martinez. And yeah, keep following, keep watching with me, keep staying with me. And just like that, it's yours truly, it's Bernie the Boxer. And I'm gone. I said, I'm gone. I'm gone. Follow, do the comments too. I'll read the comments. I will answer your comments. I love talking with you guys. Without y'all, you know what I'm saying? Where would I be? So make sure you add comments in the video, not just on the live. Go into the video and add comments, and I will reply to your comments. Please, substance comments only. No hate. You know what I'm saying? No nonsense in there. Let's talk boxing. Okay, just like that, I'm gone. I said,